What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Soul Break. Thanks for stopping by my channel. So today I have something a little different. I have a pair of Asics in front of me, and these are actually the second pair of Asics in my collection. And these are called the Asics UB1-S Gel Kayano 14 in the Piedmont Gray colorway. So what happened was that on the original release day, I missed these. I was ready to cop these online, but then I snoozed for maybe about 10 seconds, and then these sold out instantly. So yeah, that was a big bummer. But luckily enough, Shop Nice Kicks in the US had these in stock, and I was able to cop a pair for retail plus shipping. So I was really glad to cop these because I really wanted this pair when I first saw these online. And I mean, having the opportunity to cop them retail plus shipping is really good, I think. So yeah. Now, right off the rip, I know that these give off that kind of dad shoe vibe, but I think a lot of dad shoe type of shoes have been doing quite well. You know, New Balance has been killing it, and Asics has been having some fire models lately, especially because the Bulgarian designer Kiko Kostadinov, I'm hoping that I don't butcher his name. You know, he officially joined Asics' team, I think, and you know, he used to create collab models, as far as I know, for Asics, but I think he's part of Asics now, and he's been killing the game. You know, he's been putting out crazy designs on pre-existing silhouettes, and this is part of his new collection, I guess. So let's dive right into the shoe. Now, you can see that there's a lot going on, but starting from the mid panel, we can see this really gray mesh material lining all the mid side of the shoe, and this obviously gives a lot of perforation, and you can make help your feet breathe a lot, especially because these are running shoes to begin with. And then on top of that, you got that typical Asics logo here. I think they used a mix of kind of this white plastic material. It doesn't feel cheap. Don't get me wrong, it is plastic, but I don't think it's anything cheap. And then they also have this kind of matte finished black plastic material here as well. And I think it's a really cool touch. The overall colorway kind of gives off that vintage feel, very industrial looking, and I think I really dig that. Towards the front of the shoe, you got these kind of crazy designs here as well. I'm not really sure what color you would call these. I think it's kind of dark cream maybe. It is this kind of plasticky material with some groovings in them, and then it's quite well padded, and then it's all stitched onto this part of the shoe. And then you've got this really crazy looking design here. Once again, we see that kind of white plasticky material with these black wings maybe kind of printed onto the shoe as part of the design. And I don't know, it really gives this kind of futuristic industrial vibe overall. And then here on the midguard area, the mudguard area, you see more of that kind of dark creamish colored, I wouldn't say leather. I think it is some sort of synthetic material here, and then it lines the entire toe cap area here as well with some black linings to, you know, just add a little taste to the overall sneaker. Now, the toe box is really cool as well. You've got more of that gray mesh material here, and obviously this is a running shoe, so it's going to really help your toes breathe while you run or wear them casually. And then here on the tongue of the shoe, you've got this really dark black mesh tongue here, which is, I think it's really nicely padded. And then you've got these rounded laces in this kind of gray color with the black outlines, factory laced onto the shoe. I think this is a really cool detail. It really gives kind of this I don't know, I think it really makes the shoe pop. Just by adding that kind of small detail of the outlines here. It really kind of gives character to the laces, and I think that's a really cool touch. And then moving towards the tongue of the shoe, you've got that Asics logo in this kind of plastic material stitched onto the I guess the tongue holder, I guess, or a lace holder, in this kind of dark grayish fabric material. And then the tongue is this almost kind of glossy, kind of almost thready looking I wouldn't say like gold, but it does give off like a kind of like a metallic feel to it. But it is really smooth to the touch, and that's how they decided to create their tongue. And then on the side of that, you got that more of that black mesh material here for the tongue. And once again, it really gives off that kind of like industrial vibe to the shoe. The back of the tongue is basically the same deal, nothing too special. You got that size tag here. I've got a size 10 for me. And then the inner sock liner is all black. And what's really cool is that Asics uses their Ortholite insole here. And then they've got this kind of like stitch detail of the Asics logo on the insole, and I don't know, it really gives off that kind of premium feel. I'm surprised that they paid attention to a lot of their like the insole here. I think it's a really cool touch. Overall, the shoe does not feel cheap. I mean, the retail price isn't like it's not too bad, but the amount of attention to detail that they've paid to in creating the shoe is like quite surprising, because I think it's a really nicely put together shoe overall. And on the back side of the shoe, you see more of that kind of like matte finish black plastic material as support for the heel area. And then here you've got that gel Kayano 14 branding. And I really like this part of the shoe as well, and then near the heel counter, you got that mesh material here. And then here on the back, they use like this kind of like matte finished black or dark gray plastic material here on the back with the gel logo imprinted into that. And it almost gives off like a kind of like a robotic feel on the back of the shoe here near the ankle as well as the heel counter. And once again, I feel like I'm repeating myself, but it really gives off that kind of industrial feel in general. And then the medial side of the shoe it's basically the same deal. It's just you get that Asics logo once again. And then here you got these kind of like bubble details on the matte finish black plastic support here. And I don't know, I think it's a really nice switch up from just the branding here. And once again, they did pay attention to the detail in creating this model. Now the midsole is where things get crazy. This almost gives off those like ugly shoe vibes, in the sense that like the midsole looks really like molded together. It's like a mix of like different like layers. So here you can see on the upper part of the midsole, you got that kind of like beehive looking kind of black midsole here. I'm guessing it's created using this like foam material. And then in between you've got this like gel like material. It is glossy and it kind of looks plasticky at first, but once you kind of like squeeze this, you can actually feel that these got give to the touch. And then you can really kind of tell that this is actually like that gel material that Asics uses instead of like plain plastic. So I think it's a really, really cool detail. It's very interesting that they kind of have this exposed part on the shoe. And then on the bottom layer of the midsole, you got that more of that kind of dark creamish colored midsole using this foam material. And then you get those tiny details of the like the beehive looking pattern here on the front, as well as like these kind of like wrinkled details overall. I think it's a really, really nicely put together shoe. I don't know. This shoe it has so much to look at and so much to like talk about when you have these in hand. Now the outsole is also crazy. I'm not too familiar with Asics shoes, but I'm guessing that this is like a typical traction pad for the gel Kayano 14 model. But what I can tell is that it's got a lot of like things going on, and I'm pretty sure these are all designed to give the best kind of like durability as well as like stability when you are running or walking in these. And so it's basically a mix of like this kind of like tire type of tractions, all in black, as well as that kind of dark creamish material with some sort of different pattern. And I'm guessing this is all meant to give you maximum traction in terms of like walking or running in these sneakers. And then on the mid part of the outsole, you've got this kind of really rigid plastic kind of arch support. And I don't know, this is like I think this is the first time that they use this kind of material overall in the sneaker. So yeah, it's a really cool switch up from the basic foam or mesh material that we've been seeing on the upper of the shoe. And then the back side of the shoe is basically a similar deal. It's got that kind of like tire type of outsole, all in black, with hits of like that kind of dark creamish color details in the outsole. So yeah, once again, this is a really crazy shoe. For some reason, I really fell in love with these when I first saw them in the pictures, and having these in hand, they're better than in person. They exceed my expectations, and I don't know, I really like these. I can't wait to wear these outside. Wearability wise, I know like the kind of like the ugly shoe trend has kind of died down, but we are still in the realm of like the dad shoe era again, I think, with like the New Balance models and the Asics models. So wearability wise, I don't think it would be too big of a problem, especially if you're a runner. These should not be a problem at all. But if you are to wear these casually, I think they would wear nicely with your kind of like gray sweatpants or black joggers, or maybe like some like wide-ended like trousers for that matter. So I think there won't be any problem wearing these casually as well. Now I did try these on. As you can see, it's already laced, and what I noticed was that this Ortholite insole feels really comfortable under feet. It's really different from what I've experienced with any like New Balance or Nike shoes. I mean, don't get me wrong, those are really comfortable sneakers as well, but it's got this kind of like kind of molding feeling underneath your feet, and it's a really nice feeling of cushioning for the sneakers. And I don't know, it's really comfortable. And what I've noticed is that I did go true to size with these. It's just that I think there's a little bit more room towards the toe box area. So I don't think there's any need to go like half a size up or a full size up in these. Probably you should just like stay true to size, or if you have like narrow feet, maybe going half a size down might work as well, especially because the toe box area and like the mid part of this shoe is all created in mesh, so it should give you a lot of flexibility in terms of wear. Now I'm not too interested in the resale price, because I mean, at the end of the day, these are a pair of Asics, so I'm not really sure if the resale price on these would be crazy at all. But I do have a lot of expectation for Asics, especially because Kiko has joined the design team officially. I think Asics is probably going to be like the next big thing after New Balance, because you know the New Balance hype has been crazy, but I think it's really a good time for Asics to kick things off. And I really have confidence in the brand because, you know, they've been putting out pretty cool sneakers. I know the dad shoe design might not be everyone's cup of tea, but, you know, I think it does have a wide appeal to a lot of people. So yeah, that's basically it for today. I am really excited to have this pair in hand, and I really hope you found this video enjoyable to watch. And if you enjoyed watching this video, please hit that subscribe button. It really helps my channel grow, and I'll be putting more content really soon. Thanks for watching.